Undersea. Undersea.
One, two, three, four. I have 2 arms and 2 legs. How many arms and legs does an octopus have? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wait, the answer is an octopus does not have arms or legs. They have tentacles. What is a tentacle? A tentacle is a small flexible limb that is attached to an animal that they use to grasp and move about. Octopus have no bones. This means that they can fit into small spaces. If you want to look for an octopus, look up in small cracks and pipes and crevices. Then look around out front for shiny things. They love shiny things, broken glass, cans, anything like that. If you want to, move one of the things back from the hole and just wait. Just wait. And in a minute, an octopi tentacle will come out, grasp that thing, and put it right back where it was. They are neat freaks about their homes. My mother would love them. They have a cartilage ring around their mouths about this big. Cartilage like what your ear is made out of. Octopus mouths are like chicken beaks. They grab their prey and they peck at it. Peck, 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 peck. Octopi are incredibly smart. They've been taught to open jars. They actually can mimic other animals in the color and the shapes of their bodies so they can sneak away. Be quiet, very quiet. Do you know what the coolest thing about an octopi is? They can change colors like a Christmas tree. Their skin has special cells in it called chromatophores. Chromatophores enable the octopus to camouflage itself with its surroundings by changing the color of its skin. Not only can they become the color of what they are on, they can change the texture of their skin to look just like it. When an octopus wants to hide, he has great tools to do so. The last talent to talk about of the great octopus is the fact that he can ink to make an escape. Here is footage of an octopus inking us, trying to get away. It is not very good, but look at the ink. Octopi are the Harry Houdini of the underwater world. Amazing, fast, stealth, cool. These guys have got it all together. Remember to look for the shiny things at the beach the next time you're there. You just may see the famous Houdini octopi.
Undersea.
So you want to know how big a Megalodon shark was? Well, I'm 5'10", and compared to a great white, I'm a small snack. Great white sharks grow to 20 feet long and 5,000 pounds. That weighs more than a car. That's nothing compared to the whale shark. The largest whale shark ever measured was right at 40 feet. It weighed 79,000 pounds. That's 36 tons. This thing was the size of a bus. These predators are large. The fossil records show these fish have been here since before the time of the dinosaurs. Now let's look at the biggest of the big and the baddest of the bad. The Megalodon shark measured in at 67 feet long and a weight of 104,000 pounds. That's 52 tons of eating machine. Through forensic investigation, scientists have determined that Mega ate pretty much whatever he wanted. How could scientists know what Mega ate? Well, it's pretty simple. We found fossils all over the world, and we have Megalodon bites all over them. When this thing ate lunch, it left a lot of clues. This was one of the Earth's largest predators and the top of the food chain. So why are there no Megalodon today? The leading theory of why Mega didn't make it is, wait for it, Ice Age. Megalodon loved tropical waters. He could eat anything he wanted, do anything he needed to do, but what he needed was a coat. You have man against himself, man against man, and man against nature. Megalodon against nature lost, but he left his teeth, and that's what we're going to find.
So we left from Cape Fear, North Carolina, and we took a boat 40 miles off the coast. Unfortunately, we came into a large storm, and we could not get our cameras in the water, so we left the cameras on the boat, and we went and got the teeth. And here they are. 6 amazing teeth from these animals. Look how large they are. It's as big as my hand. That is amazing. Now I really want you to look at this little tooth right here. This same tooth in my hand. This is from an 8.5-foot shark that G swims with at the Tennessee Aquarium all the time. Look how small its tooth is. It is a tiny little tooth compared to this monster. So if that is an 8.5-foot shark, imagine how big this guy must have been. Would you like to get in the ocean with this guy? I'm kind of glad they're gone, because G loves the ocean, but I don't know whether I'd want to swim with this guy or not. These were amazing animals. They've been gone for a long time, but it teaches us all about how animals come and go and Mother Nature continues to thrive. If you enjoyed the video, click down there on the subscribe mark and post your questions. I will answer your questions at any time, as long as I'm in and not traveling out in the ocean. I love salt water. See you next time on Undersea G. Undersea G. Turtle, tortoise, turtle, tortoise. Which one is it? The quick answer is turtles live most of their lives in water, and tortoises live most of their lives on land. So you can see a turtle on land and you can see a tortoise in water, just not for very long. By the way, the box turtle that you have as a pet is a turtle. Their natural habitat is lakes and backwaters. So now we're to the main menu of this week's video, green sea turtles. Did you know that a green sea turtle can hold its breath up to an hour underwater? The current world record for a human holding their breath is 20 minutes and 21 seconds. Glad I was not in that race. Green sea turtles are not actually green. They're more brownish and blackish. Back in the 1800s, when sailors would catch turtles for fresh meals on their voyages, the sailors found that the inside of the turtle is green. That is because the green sea turtle eats a lot of seagrass and kelp. This makes your mother correct. You are what you eat. Green sea turtles are very strong. Watch this turtle as he gently moves G out of the way so he can swim by. We think this turtle is very old. Look at the barnacles on his back. Green sea turtles can live as long as 80 years. Some of them can weigh as much as 400 pounds. Now that's a turtle. All sea turtles are either endangered or threatened. This means that we need to help the species as much as possible survive. So if you are lucky enough to see one of these amazing creatures, watch them from afar. If there's any way that you could help, make sure you always get involved with an adult so that they can make a judgment call on that. But we need to take care of our green sea turtles and all of our sea turtles, because the ocean is a critical place for us. It actually helps our environment. If you enjoyed this week's Undersea G, click subscribe and hit that like button and watch some of the other ones that we already have online, and we've got many more coming, because there is a lot more for us to learn in the amazing ocean that is our world. See you next week on Undersea G. Undersea G. Was that Moray Eel green or was he brown? The truth is that most of green moray eels are not green. They are brown. Green moray eels secrete a layer of toxic mucus over their skin, which has a yellow hue. Yellow and brown make green. G has worked with many green moray eels. Sometimes they rub up against my body, kind of the same way you rub your back on a wall when you're trying to scratch it. When that happens, they may get their toxic mucus on my skin. First, it feels like slime, and then it mildly burns. It is easily washed off, no harm, no foul. What's the rule? Do not touch anything underwater, only observe. When you are observing moray eels, they appear to open their mouths. Doing this makes them look aggressive. Nothing can be further from the truth. They are just doing this so they can breathe. Moray eels have small gill slits. This means that they have to open their mouths to get water in to breathe, like you and I when we run hard. Green moray eels have two sets of jaws. One holds their teeth and the other one is further down their throat to help them with digestion. Moray eels have terrible eyesight. This means when they're hunting after something, they miss a lot. They hunt mainly at night with their sense of smell. They smell with two appendages sticking out above their mouth. The largest moray ever measured was 8 feet long and weighed 66 pounds. These animals are inquisitive, intelligent, and nimble swimmers. They remind ye of gerbils the way they can fit into small spaces. Getting to share a few moments with one of these docile giants is a true gift that I always cherish. Undersea. Pancake, flapjack, or swimming frisbee. These are but a few of the nicknames for the great southern stingray. Southern stingrays are a subset of stingrays. Who knew? Rays are closely related to sharks. Most of the time, the southern stingray is a docile fish. It is quite curious. Stingrays eat clams, shrimps, and mussels. The southern stingray's eyes are on top of its body, and its mouth is on the underside. They use a special organ to guide their food to their mouths. The organ is called the ampullae of Lorenzini. This organ consists of gel-filled cells around its mouth. These cells look like freckles when you see them. They are used to pick up minute electrical signals emitting out of animals' muscles and heartbeats. They can hear a heartbeat. Rays can see the prey, they just can't see their mouths, and that is where the ampullae of Lorenzini brings it home. Rays are very hard to provoke. Most ray strikes on humans are caused by a human accidentally stepping on them. Rays like to camouflage themselves with sand in the shallows near the shore. They are very hard to see when they are like this. They have a spine on their tail that is venomous. When provoked, they strike like a scorpion's watow! Always drag your feet as you walk into the ocean. That way you will make sure that if there's a ray in the area, he will either hear you or he will see you before you get there. Rays have a cartilage skeleton. Cartilage! It's the bendable stuff that holds your ear up. Southern rays have small openings called spiracles on top of their heads. The location of these spiracles enables the stingray to take in water while lying on the seabed or when partially buried in sediment. Water enters the spiracle and leaves through the gill. This is how they breathe while they're hid. Rays communicate through pheromone signaling. What is that? They actually talk through smell. In many parts of the Caribbean, the southern stingray swims with divers and snorkelers. The southern stingray is found in tropical and subtropical waters of the western Atlantic Ocean, our side of the pond, from New Jersey to Brazil. Southern stingrays can reach up to 5 feet wide and 160 pounds. You will probably swim by the first 10 southern stingrays before you will see one. Don't worry, it takes time to know what to look for. As always, only observe. Never go into the water alone, and most importantly, leave only footprints in the sand. If you've enjoyed today's video, click that like button over there and click subscribe so you will know when we're posting videos. And I'll see you next time on Undersea G. Undersea G. Boom, boom. It's really not like that. Sharks are like the crows of the ocean. They clean up dead and sick fish. Doing this keeps the whole ecosystem healthy. Nurse sharks are intelligent, efficient, and stealthy when they hunt. They eat about every 2 weeks. That's the equivalent to you and I eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich once every 4 days. Now that's a diet plan G could use. Nurse sharks have 8 senses: hearing, sight, smell, taste, touch, lateral line, ampullae of Lorenzini, and pit organs. Lateral line, ampullae of Lorenzini. Pit organs, what is this? Most fish, including sharks, have a lateral line. The lateral line is along the middle of both sides of the shark. This line of cells detects motion in the water. So when something is splashing or disturbing the water, the lateral line alerts the animal to what direction and how hard the disturbance is. The lateral line can detect disturbances up to 850 yards away. Ampullae of Lorenzini. This is G's favorite sense. The ampullae of Lorenzini is a grouping of cells that detects electrical signals used by animals to make their muscles move. So that means that when G is swimming with those wonderful animals, they can sense my heartbeat. They know if I'm calm or excited. I can't imagine being able to hear everyone's heartbeat. That would get loud. The eighth sense is called pit organs. The pit organ works a lot like your ear. Small hairs vibrate and generate signals to the brain. We do not know the exact function of the pit organ, but most likely we think sharks use it to detect water currents. Nurse sharks can grow up to 9 feet long with a weight in the 250-pound range. Nurse sharks feed on fish, shrimp, and squid. Nurse sharks do not have to move to breathe. This is unusual for a shark. Most sharks have to swim their entire lives just to breathe. You are more likely to die from taking a selfie, click, than you are to getting shark bit. Sharks are responsible stewards of the ocean. They are not mindless fish without a purpose. As always, never swim, snorkel, or dive alone. Never bother the wildlife, and only leave footprints in the sand when you leave. There are some strange things in the ocean. One of the strangest is the Remora, shark sucker, or suckerfish. Whatever you call it, it's weird. These guys make a living clinging to sharks, turtles, ships, manta rays, whatever they can. Remora stick to animals using their flat oval sucking disc on the top of their head. The disc is a spiny portion of their dorsal fin. Remoras are thin fish from 1 to 3 feet long. Stop! Okay, G works very hard to make sure everything I tell you guys is correct. That said, 4 different reputable sources state that Remora grow up to 3 feet long. Well, look at this. This 3-foot Remora seems to be 5 or 6 feet long to G. I knew he was huge when I was filming him. So apparently, according to science, we have the largest Remora ever seen. That's not true. G has seen larger Remora before. What it does show is even though we all try to get the answer right, sometimes we miss. According to NOAA, we've explored 5% of our ocean, which means 95% of it is still unexplored. So you guys need to help me. We have a lot of swimming to do. When Remora attach to animals, it's called a symbiotic relationship. This relationship means that both animals benefit from it. When a shark lets a Remora attach to the shark, he gets cleaned by the Remora. The Remora actually gets a meal out of this because he eats the parasites on the shark's skin. He also gets the leftovers when a shark eats. The Remora gets a free piggyback ride. Sharks seem to understand the benefits a Remora has on its well-being. Sharks have been observed slowing down, even risking their own lives to allow Remora to attach. The word Remora literally means hindrance. I've seen thousands of Remora sharks, Remora turtle, and Remora manta ray relationship. I've never seen them having a disagreement about one of them being a hindrance. Remember, never swim, snorkel, or dive alone. Never interfere with the wildlife, and only leave footprints in the sand when you leave. I hope you learned something today and every day. One of the most beautiful fish families under the sea is the angelfish family. And that's what we're going to talk about today on Undersea G. Undersea G. Undersea G. There are around 90 species of saltwater angelfish. Every angelfish species has different social characteristics. French angels are outgoing and very inquisitive. Queen angels are shy and skittish. Rock beauties are in the middle. They will not run from you, but they won't hang around either. Angelfish have territories that they patrol. She has never seen aggression displayed but they do go and investigate anything that might be in their playground. Some angelfish pair bond for life. If one of the pairs no longer is there, the other will live the rest of its life alone. Angelfish are omnivores. That means they eat plants and animals. Marine angelfish like to eat algae, jellyfish, sponge, and small fish. Freshwater angelfish are carnivores. They like to eat worms, shrimp, and insects. Angelfish live about 10 years in the wild. They can live up to 15 years in an aquarium. Angelfish can grow between 2 and 24 inches in length depending on their species. They have bright colored bodies that provide camouflage in coral reefs. Hang on, I understand that you might see their color as a camouflage, but these guys are so colorful and beautiful that they almost glow begging for your attention. If that's camouflage, then it is bright camouflage. Color also plays an essential role in their communications with each other. When angelfish are babies, they look like small marbles. As they grow to become teenagers, their large flat fins have long streamers on the top and bottom fin. As they continue to develop, the angelfish loses the streamers as it becomes an adult. Marine angelfish inhabit warm, shallow waters of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Angelfish are active during the day. At night, they seek refuge among crevices in the reef and rocky outcroppings. Masters of camouflage, changing colors at will. These elongated, tape-like fish are always entertaining to watch. Trumpetfish grow up to 36 inches long, floating head down along the coral, waiting to ambush their prey. Trumpetfish use chromatophore cells in their skin to disguise themselves while hiding in the coral. Look at the jaw on this fish. It should have been a boxer. These fish can open their mouths as wide as their bodies. When this happens, it causes a suction that actually pulls in a victim. Trumpetfish also hunt with large fish. They use the larger fish as a screen. Then, fast as lightning, they actually bend over the back of the larger fish and suck up a small snack. Trumpetfish have tiny teeth on their lower jaw, and there are no teeth on the upper jaw. Trumpetfish eat all types of small fish. They live on coral reefs and reef flats from 7 to 82 feet deep. Trumpetfish live in the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. Trumpetfish lay eggs. The female transfers the eggs to the male, and the male carries the eggs in a pouch until they hatch. Trumpetfish are close relatives to seahorses. Neither species are good swimmers. Neither one's gonna win a race. The trumpetfish is a very unusual predator. Their slow style makes you think they're not paying attention. And then they strike. You see it, but you don't realize what just happened. Location, location, location. If a lionfish lives in the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean, or the South Pacific, then it lives on its home turf. In that area, lionfish have many natural predators. These include sharks, cornetfish, grouper, giant eel, frogfish, and scorpionfish. If the lionfish lives anywhere else in the world, then it's an invasive species and has no predators. I hear you. You're saying, gee, all of those species that hunt the lionfish live all over the world, and you are correct. But those animals that live in the other parts of the world have not figured out how to eat the lionfish. So why are lionfish so hard to swallow? Well, they have a secret weapon. They are venomous. They are not poisonous. There is a big difference between venomous and poisonous. Professor Sue, G's underwater biologist friend, loves to point out venom is injected, poison is ingested. With this newfound knowledge that I've shared with you, the following statement is true. There are no poisonous snakes, period. They are all venomous, and so is the lionfish. And that's what makes the lionfish so hard for its predators to eat. The lionfish has 13 venomous spines on the dorsal fin, 2 venomous spines on its pelvic fin, and 3 venomous spines on its anal fin. When the lionfish is attacked, it sticks those needle-sharp fins in the mouth of whatever is trying to eat it. This is usually the end of that encounter. Female lionfish produce 30,000 eggs a year. That's a whole lot of little lionfish. Even though the animal is not very big, a large specimen is 15 inches long, they eat all of the fry on a reef. A study by NOAA has shown that one lionfish on a reef reduced the baby fish population by 70%. This is devastating to all life on the reef. The first confirmed lionfish sighting in Florida was in 1985. There are several theories to how they got there. DNA testing has proven that they are descendants from 7 fish. Since the lionfish is a very popular aquarium fish, it is thought that people threw the fish out of their aquariums and into the ocean around the South Florida area. The lionfish recently appeared in the Mediterranean. My first encounter with a lionfish in the Atlantic was in 2001 in the Bahamas. As you can see, even then it was trying to eat everything in sight. It is unfortunate that a fish that is this beautiful is so devastating to its environment. Not only does it remove the next generation of fish from the reef, it has changed the way that most of the large fish hunt. One day, the predators for this fish will learn how to consume it just like their cousins have in the Indian Ocean. Until then, we'll all have to do our best to help Mother Nature to balance everything back into a normal rhythm. Remember, never swim, snorkel, or dive alone. Never bother the wildlife, and only leave footprints in the sand when you leave. I hope you learned something today and every day. Click that like button and subscribe to the channel so you will know when we post our next episode, and we'll see you next time on Undersea G.